Hey, coming to you live from whatever it is that's live. Your dog, your ant farm, whatever it is, whatever you desire, anything that's alive, living here in Interdimensional RSS, the unofficial Rick and Morty podcast.
Hello, everybody. I'm Travis,
Hello, everybody. I'm Brandon,
and welcome to one of the very few remaining interdimensional RSS episodes in what has been a monumental off season. But boy, have we got things to talk about. We're so happy to have you streaming into your ear holes via whatever your podcatcher of choosing is, or watching live right now via Twitch or YouTube, or I don't know, maybe there's another platform we're streaming to. If you're on Mixer, give us a shout out if you're on Mixer. Yeah, let us know.
I don't even know if we stream to Mixer. I'm afraid of Mixer a little bit.
It's the great unknown. It's the great unknown. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing really good. I don't know if you can tell, but I have got a little bit of a sinus cold thing going on. So I'm chugging down some wine.
That should help it. That should make it just fine. It's an exciting day, and I'm excited to be recording another Rick and Morty podcast for you, the good folks at home. If this is your first time listening to an episode, for starters, why now? But second, and more importantly,
here's the
there are many ways that you can follow along with our antics over on the social internet. You can head over to RickandMortyPodcast.reddit.com to follow our subreddit, or sometimes we pop up on the RickandMorty.reddit.com official subreddit. You're going to want to follow us over on Twitter, twitter.com/RickandMortyPod. You're going to want to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/RickandMortyPodcast. And you're going to want to send us emails, countless emails every day at rickandmortypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find all of our episodes at rickandmortypod.com. That's the website. And then if you want to follow along with our live stream almost every other Monday night, head over to YouTube and search for Apathetic Enthusiasm, or go to twitch.tv/Apathetic Enthusiasm. We are, what did you say, like eight subscribers away on YouTube from being able to create our own URL.
Yeah, something like we are so close to the goal. This is like one of those PBS goals.
Who will it be? Will it be you? Go to YouTube, create an account, because like you don't have a Google account already, and go subscribe to our channel on YouTube so that we can let's have a new URL for the new season, guys. Come on, that's the challenge to you. I know you can do it. I believe in you.
I believe that you believe in them. That's how much belief is happening in this.
I'm so full of belief and full of many other things as well. One special shout out to everybody over at patreon.com/RickandMortyPod who continues to support this podcast as well as all of our other podcasts financially over at patreon.com. If you would like to be a patron, you can go to patreon.com/RickandMortyPod and give us your money.
That's right. We appreciate all your support. I didn't mean to just blow past that. I just didn't want to linger on it because I appreciate it. But I wanted to throw something out really cool that I noticed on the Twitch side of the house. We have our Instagram feed on, and then if you're in there, you can actually scroll and check out our feed. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that's in there. So if you're watching and you're on Twitch, not YouTube. By the way, 8 more subscribe there.
That's something important to point out, Brandon, is that you have not included our Instagram in our social media shout outs. So if you are an Instagram user, follow us at Rick and Morty Podcast on Instagram. That's the account to follow. So not apathetic _enthusiasm. Rick and Morty Podcast. So, how you been? I mean, other than sinus infections and copious amounts of wine, what's been happening?
Not too much. I went to Vegas. That's probably where I got the syphilis, and
that will do it.
Sinophilis. That doesn't make sense. But I'm here and I'm excited for the new news that has come out, which will be spoken about later on in the show.
I,
But
I, d- I do want to point out for the video folks, we have crossed a threshold in the annual history of our podcasting where you continue to wear t-shirts because it is warm in Florida, and I am now having to add layers, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt. By mid-January, I'll have gloves on during the recording. So yes, winter is fall is upon us in the Midwest, and
that's right.
it's getting chilly, y'all.
Yeah, it's hot down here, and you know what better way to talk about the heat than
Yeah, some any kind of news is semi
well,
pertinent news.
semi pertinent news.
Yeah. All right. We have several news type stories as the media train continues to chug along towards this fall, this 3 weeks from now, and getting Rick and Morty back on the air. We have some news. Do you want to talk about your gaming uh, extravaganza this weekend?
Heck yeah! Do I want to talk about my gaming extravaganza? So early last week, I was in California. I was at my parents' house. I woke up in the morning and there just happened to be an Adult Swim live stream, Adult Swim Games live stream, and they're playing Pocket Mortys. Okay, I'll go in there. I won a little raffle and they gave me some vouchers and then a a different Morty, a Street Sweeper Morty for Pocket Mortys, and they're like, "You're gonna need those vouchers for the new update that's coming out this week." I'm like, oh, fancy bread. Um, sure enough, they released a new update for Pocket Mortys for the multiplayer, which is a raid mode. And what they did was uh, they incorporated a boss, which happened to be the giant Gazorpazorp, and uh, basically what players had to do is they would have to go and attack him one by one and get as much damage down on him as possible to try to kill him over the weekend. Well, unfortunately, we didn't uh, kill him.
Is it like
As
a global raid event, or does it?
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh.
every single person who's playing Pocket Mortys, you could go attack this guy over and over again and try to kill him. And then based on how much damage you've done, you get rewards. I got this cute little Morty Junior. I got more.
Oh, Marty Jr.
Now I can fight with Morty Junior. But
Yay.
I spent a whole hell of a lot of time. My 7 year old spent a whole hell of a lot of time on the game. And even the one thing I'll say is you don't play directly with others to fight against him, but in order to fight the Gazorpazorp, you have to get hunter's permits. In order to get those, you have to fight against other players. So it forces
Mm.
you to have to
Indirectly, you have to play against
exactly
others, but then it's still competitive against others to get the vouchers so that you can
right. Uh,
collaborate.
there, I only had some issue when people were about to lose to me and they just quit, and then I don't get anything for it. That was kind of a
Mm.
bummer.
Not cool.
But
um.
overall, it reminded me how fun that game is and how enjoyable it is to send your Mortys out to get their asses kicked by.
Well, so yeah, definitely not a sponsor, but hey, go download Pocket Mortys again and try and beat that next raid because apparently not enough people did this first time. So, yeah, cool. Pocket Mortys is fun. I was supposed to cancel my Apple Arcade today.
Oh,
I might hold on to it for another month. We'll see. We'll see.
okay.
Next up in semi-pertinent news, I want to do a special shout out. I know we've mentioned this on previous episodes, but Adult Swim Fest is coming up November 15th and 16th in California, Los Angeles, California, at the Bank of California Stadium. This is the second annual Adult Swim Festival. We showed up. I got my shirt from last year. We were there for Adult Swim Fest last year. Unfortunately, we will not be at Adult Swim Festival this year. However, we will both be in Florida, and actually, Brandon and I will be hanging out together on November 15th in Florida. So yeah, we'll stream something, or at least there'll be some social media presence. But if you're not in our immediate families and hanging out with us in Florida, then head over to the Bank of California Stadium, where tickets are they start at $49, which I think is cheaper than what we paid to go last year.
Most definitely was.
Headliners include Death Clock, Captain Murphy, Jamie XX, Vince Staples, Young Thug. The Eric Andre show is live. There's going to be a bunch of comedians and other musical acts, as well as crazy Adult Swim activities. It was a lot of fun last year. So if you were on the fence or you missed out last year, highly recommend checking out Adult Swim Festival, where you will get to see an episode of Rick and Morty as well.
Absolutely. So. And you know who else will be there, Travis?
Who, Brandon?
If you go follow him on Instagram, it's the gentleman we met last year at Adult Swim Fest. He's going to be there, old Daniel. He's going to be there, and he's going to be doing some man on the scene reporting there. Ooh.
That's right.
So make sure you follow him on Instagram, Scary Terry Folds. He's good guy, and
he's the man with the merch. If you want to see an impressive Rick and Morty collection, make sure you're following Scary Terry Folds over on the Instagrams.
Yeah, and I own a beer.
Yeah, we owe him so much. But yeah, so that's happening. In other semi-pertinent news, social media is a buzz, Brandon. They're just so excited, and so many people are just tweeting about Rick and Morty coming back, and right, none other than Captain America himself, Chris Evans, with a tweet that's, I mean, it's very very straightforward, very to the point. Yeah. I want to make sure that I.
It's not even something you need to say verbatim. It's basically like 3 weeks to go till Rick and Morty.
No, it says 3 more weeks until Rick and Morty. There it is. Chris Evans, he's hyped. Chris Evans, I'm sure you listen to this podcast on a regular basis. We appreciate your support.
Thanks, man.
Anytime you want to come on the show or on Apathetic Enthusiasm, happy to have you. So.
Yeah. You give us $200 a month. We'll call this Chris Evans presents the Interdimensional RSS.
You be careful with those offers, because Bob Carroll might hear, and he might just front that money. So
yeah, I sent him. I saw that tweet, and I responded to him, and I said, "Oh, does that mean you're doing a voice? Exclamation, question mark, exclamation." He did not respond, but we got a few likes. One like from a guitar player from Anthrax.
Oh, weird. Cool.
So we got that going for us.
Got it. So yeah, and we appreciate all of your tweets about Rick and Morty and all the things coming up, especially those of you that, give us some tips or sort of point us in the right direction whenever breaking Rick and Morty news might be happening. So special thanks to everyone that follows us over on the Twitters.
That's right. There's lots of good news coming out, with just the times coming quickly for new episodes. But there's something before we get into talking about Rick and Morty proper that it's incredibly pertinent to this section, and it's a Dan Harmon social media minute.
Dan Harmon social media is social. He's taking lots of pictures and posting all the videos. Social media minute. Dan Harmon.
Now the social media minute this week is actually fairly pertinent to the semi-pertinent and Rick and Morty. In fact, why don't you lead us through it, Travis?
It's the pertinentist. Yeah, as the writers continue to churn out the 70 episodes that they're legally obligated to complete. This includes the 65 that have not been announced for television. we get occasional glimpses into the writer's room as Dan Harmon works on new story ideas, and we have had the occasional pleasure of the one and only Rob Schraub being featured in Dan Harmon's Instagram post. Rob has been brought into the writer's room, and he's working on the show, which both Brandon and I are incredibly excited about. But there is a Pop-Tarts Bites box from the writer's room that is has been converted into the B story generator with Rob Schraub, and we get a chance to see just a few of the post-it notes that Rob Schraub has written B story ideas on, and it is filling this Pop-Tart box. And those B story ideas include Dear People. Uh, something that just says Dadderall, which I think could be a really interesting Jerry side, B plot.
Yeah.
There's the Friends spoof, which could work. And then of course, Morty starts walking on his hands and talking out of his butt.
Classic
Schraub. So make sure you're following at Rob Schraub over on Instagram as well for all of his crazy antics.
That's right. Crazy antics abound. This B story generator. I originally wanted the introduction of this episode to be like a random title generator, but yeah, it was like it would have taken away from the social media minute. I didn't want to do that to you, Travis.
No, it's fine.
I didn't want to take that.
This podcast is a team sport, Brandon, and we're on the same team.
It's not like Little League soccer where we're just everyone's chasing after the ball.
It's every adolescent for themselves. Yeah. Hoping not to get stung by bees. All right, that's it for the Dan Harmon Social Media Minute and the end of semi-pertinent news. If you see a semi-pertinent Rick and Morty news story that you think we should feature on the show, make sure to send it to us at all of the social media things that we've already talked about far too much, and let us know what you think we should talk about.
That's right.
I'm sure there will be plenty very soon as this next season is upon us. But
anymore.
That's all for now. It is now time for the main thing.
Main thing.
Oh, sorry. I came in late. What let's frame it properly. We have pushed through an incredible 2-year off season, and the news coming out of Adult Swim HQ has sometimes been sparse or even non-existent. But as Brandon put it today in our conversations, it's almost like Adult Swim has gotten into our rhythm for show releases by just putting out just enough material for us to produce a podcast episode. And what did they bestow upon us today, Brandon?
It's incredible. It's incredible to me. Today, as you and I were talking to each other on Slack and saying, "Oh, what are we going to talk about? 2 episodes left. Oh, we have this.
Here's this tweet from Chris Evans. I guess we could talk about that.
Let's talk about celebrity endorsements in Rick and Morty." You sent me a screenshot of the episodes as I was leaving work, and the first thing I said was, "Are these real?" And you're like, "Yeah, Adult Swim, Instagram,
verified account, bruh."
5 episode titles for the first 5 episodes of season 4 of Rick and Morty. They came out today, and we want to talk to you folks about them.
I do want to give a shout out to Adult Swim and their presentation of the episode titles. They were presented in a video format in an homage to the Netflix blockbuster series Stranger Things. So they kind of have that Stranger Things music, and it's kind of zooming in on the Rick and Morty title. and you have the individual show titles in a similar typeface selection that you'd get from Stranger Things. And yeah,
Yeah.
it was a weird little nod. And then so you had
Oh,
Rick and Morty, and then the big four kind of coming through the middle for Rick and Morty season 4, I guess. But
crazy.
yeah, and so then I screenshot like every title and then sent them to you individually while
Yeah.
you lacked
So
immediate internet access.
I didn't. So I'm sorry. First of all, that I questioned your images that they were real, but you did send them in such a low resolution quality that I'm like, this seems like it's from like the Reddit graveyard, where like someone like, oh, look what I found.
Hey, I made these in MS Paint. Check it out. These
Uh,
are the episodes.
was it me? That's
That's
MS
probably
Paint.
you. No, that would have been produced on a phone version of Adobe Photoshop.
Good point. Well taken. But yeah, so 5 episodes. Let's go ahead and just let's go ahead and get into the episodes titles. We can go by one. We can go all of them at once. But
Now
I
let's break them down. Let's break them
okay.
down one at a time.
Break it down one.
We got
So the
we got to fill time, brother.
we got time. Yeah, it took us 20 minutes to get here, so we should at least take 5 minutes for the.
Masters of our craft. Look at us go.
Uh, so the first episode title is "The Edge of Tomorty." Rick, die, repeat. Uh, yes,
Yeah,
Rick.
first off, some classic naming conventions with episodes. We got us a Morty, we got us a Rick. Yeah, yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correction. Rick, die, Rick, Pete.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got a double Rick, two
Yeah.
Ricks.
We going back to what Ridley was saying about like they're just trying to shove those Ricks and Lorries in places they don't need to be. Um, yeah. So for those who don't know, Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat was the alternate title. Was a movie with Tom Cruise where Tom Cruise finds himself in a loop fighting aliens where he dies over and over again. It's basically the Groundhog Day sci-fi alien invasion mashup we've all wanted and needed.
That movie I can never think of the title because it had two different titles, and I never know which one ended up being the right one.
Yeah, it was Edge of Tomorrow, and then the subtitle ended up being Live, Die, Repeat. But originally it was called Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
I don't know why they changed it. The mini novel that it was based off of is called All You Need Is Kill, which was probably more confusing for everybody.
Yeah.
But so it one of the things I did in while we were preparing for the episode was I went back to the season 4 teaser trailer, and
See our previous episode for information about the season 4 teaser.
what I tried to do is I tried to think of the theme of the title based off of its this pop culture relevance and see how it applies to some of those season 4 scenes. I don't know if these scenes are actually going to be associated to those episode titles, but I just here's
Yeah.
a first.
Throw them against the wall, see if they stick. We can see if your predictions were accurate in a few
Okay.
weeks.
All right. Yeah. Let's do it. If I get 3 out of 5 right, then I go to Disney World
What?
with
What?
you
Oh,
to
cool. All right. Let's
have
do
dinner.
it. Yeah,
Uh,
dinner. Disney Springs.
all right. So Edge of Tomorrow. It's he dies over and over again. It's about his mortality, right? Him overcoming mortality and becoming a better person. And in the season 4 trailer, there's a couple scenes with where Morty he has to put on the salve or else he's going to turn into something else. Or he talks about there's a spaceship scene where he's got like that growth on him and he's complaining about dying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and Rick tells him, people don't complain about dying. This one's admittedly a stretch, but I was trying to put them in categories. Um, but I didn't see anything else in the season 4 trailer that necessarily jumped out at that. except maybe the Meeseeks and the Fuhrer Morty, but
Mm, maybe,
but
maybe.
that's the first one. That's my first. That's
All
my first
right.
one.
All right. Well, and as we go through these, if you have done a trailer analysis and have your predictions with which episode is which, make sure to send those to us. All right. Our next episode title is "The Old Man and the Seat."
Yes.
Just for those of you keeping score at home, no Ricks, no Mortys, and no Brus.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. We haven't. There's so many different trackers that we need for the show now.
Let's go to the bruh tracker. Let's check it out, and we got zero brus this season.
What? Circle takes a square. What? That's Hollywood Squares. That doesn't apply to this.
Weird. Old man of the seat. You have Hemingway with an exclamation point.
Yeah. Well, you know the classic story, Old Man in the Sea, right, Travis?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Do you know what that story is about?
Hemingway. No, I don't. I don't.
All
I'm
right, all
sorry.
right.
I'm an uncultured swine.
So for those who are uncultured, I've never read Old Man in the Sea, but it's one of my dad's favorite movies. If you care about that kind of thing, but it's basically about an old man who has just terrible luck catching fish, and he goes on like a 84-day streak of not being able to catch anything. And all the fishermen at the port make fun of him. They're like, "It was so unlucky that this kid that he hangs out with is forbidden to see him because the village thinks he's unlucky." And eventually he's like, you know what? I'll show them. So he goes out on his 85th day and he ends up catching a marlin. And the marlin is so big for the boat that he's just dragging it along. He's rowing back to shore. And then because of the blood in the water, sharks start attacking and start eating the marlin. And so he's like fending them off, whatever. Eventually he gets back to the village. It's just a skeleton on the side of the boat. He goes to sleep. But the village sees the skeleton and they're like, "Oh, we feel bad about it. He's not a bad fisherman at all." That's the story.
Hmm.
Old
All
man
right.
and sea. Uh,
Uh, you have. There's a portion of the trailer where Rick is riding in a chair. Yes, yes, there is.
yes, there is.
So
Well,
maybe that is the old man in the seat.
old man and the seat. That's right. Um,
I think you're onto something with this one. I think you might be right with at least that clip appearing in this episode.
okay. All right. Good. 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 There's also the part where the very beginning of the trailer, also one of the first screenshots that we had from season 4, with Rick flying into by himself onto this kind of gorgeous little island, the
Yep.
the,
Hmm.
the wheat flowing. He's by himself out in the middle of nowhere. I'm just that might be a stretch as well, but I had to put these things in categories. So
Yeah, it had to happen. Number 3, our third episode, One Crew Over the Cuckoo's Morty. For those of you keeping score, that's one Morty, 2 crews, no Ricks, and no Brus.
oh boy,
Oh
we're,
boy,
we're really
we're really doing this one.
they're really screwing us up with those counts. All right, this is obviously One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, right, Travis? Oh,
Obviously,
ob-
obviously.
um, based off a novel. It was a movie. There's a play. Had Jack Nicholson in the movie. I've never seen it. Sorry, I'm a bad person.
Whoa, rare movie that Brandon hasn't seen.
Um, but so you've seen the movie, Travis. What
I
is
don't know
that?
if I have. I don't think I
Oh,
have.
never mind. It's about crazy people in a crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I was supposed to watch it. Maybe I was sick that day. Um, anyway,
I
uh,
read the Wikipedia on it.
yeah,
Hey,
I think this is a Meeseeks episode. No, actually, I think this is the Jerry's app episode.
oh really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'm gonna make sure I write down that. Well, I don't have a pen on me, but just remember we talked about that.
If only we were recording this and had this as something we could go back to and check later. Yeah, for some reason I just think this. I don't know. Maybe this is the Jerry's app one.
All
I
right.
don't know
Well,
why. I just get the sense. I get the feels.
all right. Well, I'm not arguing with you on that, but I do disagree. Um,
That's fine.
you may be very well be right, but what I did was I went through, and so the theme of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is about sanity and what's really crazy, and uh, there's scenes in the trailer where Morty is killing people. There's like, oh, we got an Akira type situation here.
Yeah.
Uh, and in that scene, you see that he's like wearing kind of like a futuristic type backpack on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, early on in the trailer, you see Rick and Morty go into like an old temple where there's a bunch of statues lining the hall, and those statues have a similar looking high tech backpack. And so if he's doing like an Akira type situation and he's going crazy, then maybe he's flying over the cuckoo's nest there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then they make an app for Jerry.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, we have two other episode titles to cover here. This one I think might be my favorite, and that's Claw and Hoarder Special Rictums Morty.
Yeah. Okay,
Dum dum.
when you first saw this title, were you like, what is it? What are they trying to get at?
No, I think I pretty much got it right away. Yeah, and it's the it's the colon that gives it away.
Kung Kung. I this was that special Rictum's Morty part. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this title? It was hard. Plus, I was driving, looking at my
Yeah.
phone the entire time, and I was just having such a hard time concentrating.
Don't text and drive, kids. Listen to podcasts while you're driving. Specifically this one. Make sure to review podcasts at red lights. Yeah, Law and Order Special Victims Unit, I think was the clear uh, inspiration for this episode title.
That is right indeed. So based off the trailer, what you can think of, what would apply to this.
Uh, I don't know. I honestly did not go back and watch the trailer today.
No, no,
I probably
you didn't
should
have
have.
to. You don't have to. It's memory. It's just a memory
I
question.
don't. Was there anything that had claws at all in the trailer?
Yes, there is something with claws in the trailer. There's a part where Rick gets slapped against the wall by a rock monster, and the weapon he has in his hand is kind of like a claw shaped thing.
So this is our D&D episode.
I think so. I think so. Uh, I didn't have too many uh, other than like trying to like fit the extra scenes in there, because I know there's magic stuff, there's dragon talk in there that has to fit into an episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It makes more sense that it fits in a claw themed episode.
Sure. Sure.
That's my guess.
Also, I feel like a fun experiment would be to go back and look at the episode titles of all the other episodes and see how unrelated some of them actually are.
Well, driving home, like I thought of that exactly, and I'm like, well, man, like how close are they? Rest and Rick's laxation. Oh, that's pretty close. Pickle Rick. Oh, yeah, that's on the nose.
That's pretty on the nose. Yeah.
Uh, um, uh,
Rick
anatomy
Lantis mix up.
anatomy Park.
All
Um,
right. All right.
Bomb
You've made your
Dog.
case. You've made your case.
Dog. Interdimensional Cable 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. Final episode title that we got today
So,
uh, is the Rattlestar Ricklactica.
yes,
That is Battlestar Galactica reference.
obvious.
Ob-
Hashtag.
obviously.
Did you watch Battlestar Galactica, either the old one or the remake?
I watched the first season of the remake, and it was while I was overseas. And the guy I was there with had the first season, And he's like, "Oh, my girlfriend's gonna send me the rest of them. So like, let's watch the first one, and then we'll watch the rest of them when they get here." And so we watched the whole first season. I was like, "This is great." And then she never sent the rest of the show. And yes, I know it's been available streaming on multiple platforms for like the last decade, and I could have watched it then. I have not.
Well, let me just tell you that the series eventually ends and everything is resolved.
Oh, good. All right, I'll start it up this week.
They find Earth. If that tells you anything, it's not a spoiler.
Spoilers. I don't like spoilers, Brandon. Come on.
Well, so I wanna talk about this one. You mentioned Gluty, you mentioned the app stuff. I think this, I think this is the app one.
You're probably absolutely right, actually.
Uh, and I have evidence. Here's my justification. In the trailer, there's a couple scenes. Obviously, you see Gluty, Morty destroying the computer, Rick in his tracksuit. And then a little bit later, you see Morty and Jerry still in that tracksuit fall into a ship full of Cylon-looking robots.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
it's probably one
other,
crew over the Crook is Morty.
that's probably Claw and Hoarder, special rectums Morty.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna do great on this one. Yeah, no, that's probably right. You're probably right. You've convinced me. You've convinced me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm probably wrong about all of these. Um, there might not even be 5 episodes in these trailers. They might be holding off one of the last episodes just to themselves.
And that's sort of the other part of all this that I wanted to talk to you about is because I've speculated a little bit about the trailer itself, whether or not all 5 episodes are shown in the trailer, and whether or not some of the stuff we saw in the trailer is actually part of episodes. They've been known to add a couple of nonsense clips into the opening credits that never actually appear in the different episodes, and I think it would be a kind of neat misdirection if they used a couple of those clips in the trailer just to kind of throw people off. The fascist Morty killing Gearhead, like I feel like that would just be a funny like 2 seconds in the opening credits and doesn't necessarily have to have a story behind it.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm curious if there's a lot that we're not seeing, but yeah, the episode titles were gonna get out eventually. So I like the way that they presented them. Did you have any other thoughts based on today's findings?
Now, I mean I think every time I see episode titles for Rick and Morty, my first thought is, God, it's so cheesy. And then I take a step back and I say, that's probably what I would have called an episode. Just because
Yeah.
it's just
Well, look at what we've named some of our episodes
yeah,
of
that's
this
true.
podcast.
But the fact that they're like all of these are specifically whereas like season 3 they weren't all TV or movie related, the episode titles. These first 5 are all TV or movie related.
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is it's almost a return to a season 1 esque naming convention
Right.
for the episodes. um was there any one of these episode titles that jumped out at you? I think you said Claw and Hoarder already, but any that jumped out at you and said, I wanna see this episode. I wanna know what this episode's about.
Well, yeah, all of them, but I want to see all of these episodes. But yeah, Clone Hoarder, I thought was a funny episode title. I am curious if these episode titles are in order.
Good point.
If the Edge of Tomorty will be the season premiere, or whether or not these are in no particular order, as another sort of misdirection.
Yeah.
Was there one that you saw that you were like, yes, I really want to see that old man in the seat?
The old man in the seat was the one that was the most boring to me. Sorry, Dad. Uh, that one was like, okay. Um, but I love Edge of Tomorrow. Immediately, I thought Edge of Morty, Rick Die, Rick Pete. Let's do it.
Let's
All
go.
in.
It'd be cool if they used that sort of like being able to die over and over again trope in an episode. Like Rick creates some sort of gadget that allows
Groundhog,
Morty to
Groundhog Day, everything.
to try and do something over and over again. I think that would be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Um, you uh, you mentioned just a few minutes ago about the misdirection stuff, and we talked about that last on our last episode too. Um, in the trailer, I tried to categorize everything. I talked about the Meeseeks and the Fear Morty, the the Mr. Poopy Butthole one. That scene could be anywhere.
Yeah.
There's thematically it doesn't fit into any of the other scenes, and so I wonder if there is any misdirection. I feel like that would be the
Th-
one scene.
that could definitely be one. Yeah. I and it's another great way to kind of sneak that little poopy superstar right into the fold of things that are going on. I'd love to see him return like realistically, like within an episode, within the context of an episode. But I also like how they just kind of keep him on the fringes now.
Right.
One of the things I saw a lot in comments when on the various social media posts with the video for the episode titles is still a lot of discussion about the fact that it is only 5 episodes and that people are frustrated 5 episodes after 2 years and so on and so forth. Where are you at emotionally with that? Do you feel like this is going to be 5 episodes and then a significant break? Is this like a 5 episode primer and then a few weeks off and more?
I
How you feel?
I think this is five episodes to whet to just whet our appetite. It's the appetizer. It's giving us a bunch of calamari and stuffed mushrooms and maybe like a caprese salad, um, or like or maybe just like a house salad with blue cheese, extra blue cheese.
Ugh,
No
ugh.
tomato.
No blue cheese for me, thank you.
Okay, okay, all right. That episode is maybe that's old man in the seat for you. Uh, but I think I would hope that they're releasing these to say, hey, we're making progress, bear with us, and then early spring, maybe March or April, that's when they come back.
Yeah, maybe
Hope
start
hopefully
get
hopefully it's
into
not
a more. What was that?
hopefully it's not October.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I could see this as sort of like holding us over until a full season release that then becomes a regular cycle throughout the throughout the rest of the 70 episodes. So,
Right, right, yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't know anything else to say about 5 episode titles?
Oh, there's so much to say about 5 episode titles. When we have 5 more episode titles to talk about, it's gonna be great. I like your point about these maybe not being in order. Um, if there's an episode not that we haven't, if these aren't all 5 episodes, what I talked about in the season 4 trailer, I'd almost like to be surprised by a premiere episode that no one has seen any of. Like
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
rather, I would almost rather the finale be n- not be the surprise and the premiere be a surprise episode.
Sort of a la April Fools season
Oh
3.
yeah, oh yeah, like season 3 or like Pickle Rick. We all knew about Pickle Rick way before the episode aired, and that was the third episode in the rotation.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So
All right. Well, that is our thoughts on the season 5 names or season 4 names, the 5 names of season 4, at least at the beginning of season 4, season 3B, whatever we want to call it. But we want to know what you guys think. If you're listening, hit us up on social media. Let us know your thoughts about these episodes. The folks in chat on Twitch are definitely letting us know what they think. Thanks to Sire Sire
Sire Xenobite.
Sire Cenobite, who thinks the misdirections may be accurate and maybe we could be getting all 5 episodes at once in sort of a Netflix fashion. You get the whole season at one time. I'm less optimistic about that. While I don't know how I'd feel about that. I think it would be great to see them all, but then like I would binge them all in one night and then like not sleep and be late to work the next day. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I don't.
I think Adult Swim has to make money, and they do so off of advertisements. And I think if they release them all at
Absolutely.
once, then they would lose out on some of that hard earned ad cash.
Yeah. I mean, what would the good folks at Adult Swim Fest do when their season for premiere exclusive was available to stream the week before?
That's
Um,
yeah, good,
yeah.
good.
There was a Death Day reference. Oh, that was you. That was
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Let's see. Cuckoo. Quick 666 9. Something with bird person about the cuckoo's nest portion.
ooh, that's a good poll. That would be awesome if we got to see Bird. What did Phoenix Person? Is that his name now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If we got to see the return of Phoenix Person in one of these episodes, that would be, yeah, we haven't seen him at all in the trailer, so that'd be a cool little sneak in there.
True that. True that. But yeah, good, good, good. Thanks everyone in the stream for shouting out stuff. R10 and X said Lou Adler film. Uh, I forget what that's a reference to. Sorry.
Well, as we're shorting people out, let's do it formally in our final segment, listener suggestions and short outs. And Brandon, you've shared an email with the class.
Yes. Oh, speaking of all those emails that we get, this one is from old Jason Ritter, not the famous actor Jason, or maybe it is. Oh no, he has
Oh, Jason Ritter.
an O-N, I think. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you're famous into us.
He got an Emmy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Oh.
he's a good guy. Anyway, uh, he sent us an email. He says, "Hey guys, love interdimensional RSS. Saw these at the local Marshalls department store and thought I'd share. Didn't see any pops or other RAM merch. Keep up the good work. November is almost here. Hang in there, Jason." And he shot us a picture of these nifty little Rick and Morty shot glasses. They're called Rick and Morty glassware, 1.5 ounce. Like, why don't you just call them shot glasses? Come on, company.
Call it what it is. Yeah,
Call
I
it
wish
out.
I would have prepared and grabbed that picture so that I could show it on stream. But we'll share it on social media or something if we haven't already.
That's right. I'll pull that and send it out on old Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
here,
Thank
here.
you, Jason, for the email, and thanks to everybody who has been continuing to like the podcast, going out to follow us on YouTube. Don't forget, let's get to 100 subscribers over on YouTube before the season begins. And we have a plan. We have a couple of plans for our sort of final show of the hiatus. If you think about it and you think about our release schedule, well, we've been pushing these out every other week, which means we have one more off-season episode before we get into the business at hand and start reviewing new episodes for season 4. And one of the things that I want to do is take a look back at the entirety of this long off season and remember the highs and the lows that we experienced over a long off season. So anything that you were particularly fond of or particularly repulsed by over the off season, whether that's Szechuan sauce or Rickmobiles, different panels at Comic Cons, or maybe an episode that of this podcast that we released. We would love to know your favorites or least favorites. you can shoot those over any form of social media, and we'll kind of gather those up for a 2-year off season in review, and as well as a bit of a preseason primer, getting us ready for new episodes starting just a few weeks. Brandon, it's so soon. It's so soon.
Next episode that we have is when we start weekly again, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's basically when we start weekly again.
You guys are gonna get 5 straight weeks of interdimensional RSS. I know you're excited about Rick and Morty, but this podcast will be back. So sorry to all the apathetic enthusiasm fans that are gonna have to wait a month and a half for a new episode. But yeah, we as the season comes out, we will have a fresh episode for you guys every week, and maybe a few bonus things as well.
Bonus. And that is it for us this evening for the podcast. I want to say thank you, one and all, everyone in the stream, everyone who's listening on an RSS feed or on our website. You make doing this worth it all, even after 2 years of no quality content.
It's so great to think that we're on the opposite side of that gap. Like it's so close. So yeah, thank you to everyone that's taken the journey with us. Thank you for your support. We say it all the time, but if you haven't gone out to Apple Podcasts and reviewed this podcast, now would be a great time to do it as we ramp up for new episodes. Go give a review, let people know what you think of this podcast, so that when they start searching for something to listen to, a companion podcast for Rick and Morty, they will definitely find Interdimensional RSS. So thank you to those that have done that. Head out and do that, and hang out. Come write it into your calendar. Monday nights over on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang out with us. Be part of the show. You can hang out and chat. We're monitoring chat throughout the entire episode, so you can hang out with us. Hang out for the post show. You know how we do it.
You know how we
and
do.
we will definitely be doing that as new episodes start coming out. So that's it. That's the show. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, I'm Travis.
And I am Brandon. Thank you so much for attending tonight's episode.
Bye-bye. It's just us, ladies and gentlemen. Just Brandon, Travis, and the stream chat. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the after show. Welcome to the post show. Let me catch up on these comments. We got some emojis, some Outback Adventures. Yeah, we got to go to Bendigo.
Bendigo.
Can't watch Rick and Morty on my way to work. Looking forward to the new content.
Look at that. This is my.
It's so hard to read that. I know you're
conspiracy theory.
Oh, there it is. I remember when we were talking about not knowing when Justin and Dan of the gang were sure they'd be releasing a new content. Yeah. I don't. It's hard to tell what that Luigi and Mario are doing, but it doesn't seem good. How's everybody doing?
Holding his belly?
I don't.
The store is junk.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
But yeah, I want to know what you guys think. Are you guys hyped for the new episodes? I mean, everybody's excited for new episodes, but what do you guys think of these episode titles?
I love them. Let me tell you all about my theories on the episodes.
We already did that, Brandon.
I'm looking for my Mad Libs.
oh, a Rick and Morty tradition. So one of the things, like, the shows are coming out Sunday nights, 11:30 Eastern time, which is really late. I mean, we're talking midnight for the conclusion of episodes. We would love to do a post-show stream, but that's just so late. So late. I might still do it for the first episode though, because
it's first episode. You got to do it first episode.
Also, I think that's a holiday the next day, so I'm pretty sure I don't have to get up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What? It might be. Was it
Yeah,
Veterans Day?
so November 10th, new episodes. November 11th, Veterans Day.
Hey,
You heard it here first, folks. We're doing a post-season premiere live stream
hell
right
yeah!
here on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure that you're here. So go watch the episode. Stay up late. Grab a beverage and let's hang out and talk about the new episode. Um,
They're preggers.
Preggers, Mario Bros. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, that would be fun. That'd be a ton of fun to do that, and hopefully that'll make up for the fact that the following week I will be in Florida the entire week, and we still, but Brandon and I have to figure out the logistics of how we are going to record the episode for episode 2, and whether or not we can have a stream at all. I can stream from my phone, so I can stream from anywhere.
Yeah, there's that thing where we can co-stream, right? If we're
I don't know. There
we can look at we can look at
we're gonna troubleshoot some things. It may look a lot different than it does right now. I may be hiding in some corner of a resort somewhere. But yeah, maybe I can teach Brandon how to set up the OBS stuff, and he can stream it, and I can just dial into you or something.
Oh yeah, no, that might actually work. I know how to stream. I've
No,
streamed.
yeah, I'm not. I didn't mean to belittle your knowledge.
Need all your assets.
Yeah.
Just need all your assets. No, we could totally do that. Yeah, I look forward to it. Yeah, this is gonna be fucking cool, everybody. I'm y- I can't even formulate words. One, cold medicine and wine. Two, it's just the excitement is just overwhelming for new Rick and Morty.
And I hate to be that guy that's like, hey everybody, like and subscribe. But like for real, you guys that are watching right now, you are the core team. You are the faithful that are in like every couple of weeks. You're here. You're supporting the show live. So hopefully that means you're enjoying it. Make sure whatever your social media platforms are, as that new episode drops, do us a favor and share the stream with people so that they know where we're at and how they can watch those post-show streams and those episode streams, because we're trying to build a community here on Twitch, and it's honestly like I didn't think we were gonna do live video like this, but I have loved doing this part of it and hanging out and getting like the immediate feedback from listeners. It's a lot of fun for me. So
Yeah.
and plus we get to do Mad Libs.
Mad Libs. Oh, it's Mad Libs time. It's Mad Libs time. Here's what I'm gonna do in order to prepare us for Mad Libs. All right. I got my Bluetooth on. Oh boy. To do. I always do this. I always do this as we're doing it. All right, here we go.
I gotta render this episode.
Do it to it. Oh, turn up. It's time for Rick and Morty Mad Libs with the Pocket Mortys music. Okay, here we go. So today's Mad Libs story, I need the following: a verb, a plural noun, a type of liquid, another noun, a number, a noun, and we'll start there.
Start typing those into chat. Let us know your nouns, your plural nouns.
Yeah.
Did I catch an adverb in there, Brandon?
There is no adverb in this one.
I'm
Just
out.
a
I'm out.
regular verb.
Oh, verb it up. Those are action words.
Gooey.
Oh, they're coming in hot. They're coming in quick.
Honchoed. No, you son of a bitch.
You got fleeb juice. You got gooey. Uh,
That
Sire
sounds
Dark said he wrote a Mad Libs program in BASIC when he was 10. You put in all the verbs, nouns, etc., and choose what story to put it into. That's dope. That's a cool coding project.
fleeb juice.
Seconded on the fleeb juice for the fluid. Authentic. Authentic is a word.
That's right. That is an adjective.
What else do we need, Brandon?
Okay. Let me see. Plural noun. Does anybody give me a plural noun?
No
No,
plural
plural.
nouns yet.
Let's see. Gooey. Got that. I need two plural nouns. So, give me a vehicle, an exclamation, a past tense verb, a place, and a part of the body. Boy.
Boinked for the verb.
Okay. Yeah.
Bubes, spelled Bewbs. Plural noun.
Bubes.
Is feti plural for fetus? I think that's fetuses.
Feta.
Uh,
I love that
Vol-
sheet.
Whenever I think of a Volkswagen Beetle, not whenever I think of it, but for some reason in this instance, saying a Volkswagen Beetle makes me think of having sex in a very uncomfortable place, like the back of a Volkswagen.
What?
That's a Kevin Smith reference
Oh.
from Mallrats.
Oh. Okay.
When it kept wanting to have sex in a very uncomfortable place, like with the back of a Volkswagen.
Beatles. All right. I need. Let's see. Another noun.
Chapstick.
Chapstick. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. A number. Give me a number.
Mm.
Oh, boobs were a part of the body. Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
Let me change that around. Give me another pull it out.
137 is the number.
137. 69. Oh, okay. 69.
Nice.
69. That's easy. That's easy enough. All right. All right. Almost there. Another plural noun. Exclamation. All it says is exclamation. So something people say loudly. Oh, chug. I guess that would go in there.
Yeah, Chuck's good.
Okay.
Reboot is legit. I'll have to see it. I bought my Star Wars tickets tonight, guys. I bought my Rise of Skywalker tickets immediately before recording this episode. So I will be going release night for that movie.
So nice. That sounds nice.
I'm taking my eldest child, who is the only other person in my immediate family that's hyped for Star Wars. So
Here it is. 2 nouns, 1 plural noun. 3 words total. We're almost there. Movies.
clams.
Okay. And 1 more noun will do it. 1 more.
Beer.
Posit? What is that? I don't know what that is.
Pocket.
Pocket. Okay. All right. Here we go. We are ready. We are ready to go. This is called a Squanchy story. Let me honcho you a story about the time Rick, Bird Person, and I squanched a ton of Galactic Federation boobs. One night, Rick drank too much fleeb juice and picked a fight with a federal chapstick. Suddenly, we were outnumbered 69-3. Thankfully, I always carry at least 1 spare clam when things get squanchy. Beatles Person and I covered Rick's back while he created a bomb out of a paperclip and a vial of corrosive feti. During the gooey explosion that followed, we snuck out the back pocket and hijacked a Volkswagen Beetle. But the Federation put up a barrier made of movies to prevent our escape. We throttled the boosters to full squanch and all yelled, "Chug!" as we boinked through the barrier and hurtled into the safety of the beaches. It was a close call. We only squanched out of there by the skin of our pubes.
Bubes,
I
double
put
bubes.
pubes twice. Because it harkens back to the beginning of the story where Galactiferous
Yeah,
should
yeah.
be.
Well, yeah. It's you
Yeah,
set it up early on. It's foreshadowing,
right.
and then obviously the payoff at the
It's
end.
a
So
gag. It's a
yeah,
gag. It's
it's
storytelling.
cyclical. It's the Harmon story circle, right?
It,
It's
when I read the book about improv, uh, one of the things they say is be in the moment, right? And naturally, you're gonna come back to you're gonna circle back to some of those things that you talked about earlier. If you only live in the moment, it's gonna happen naturally. Don't pick a place and then try to get back to it. If you try that, it's not gonna be natural. You're not gonna be in the moment because you're thinking ahead.
it's not gonna work. That's right.
No, you gotta be.
Speaking of coming back to it, last week on the stream or 2 weeks ago, or whenever it was the last time we did this, you cracked open a can of Fleeb
Oh
juice,
yeah.
and you took a couple of sips. Did you ever end up finishing that can?
I, I that next morning I took it with me on the drive to work. And my work is about 45 minutes away without traffic on a good day. And I did not finish it. It was just too damn sweet, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's very, it's very 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 sweet. Like I mean there was still a little bit of carbonation, but I mean it was just when I was a kid, I would have died for that type of stuff. Like, yeah, as sweet as you can get it. But not anymore. Now I'm
Not
like,
today.
no dessert
Not
for me, thanks. I'll have
really.
some more salt.
Black coffee. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of the person who got me the fleeb juice, oh Homar is in town on YouTube. I owe him $5. You didn't say I owed you money for that. Yeah, yeah, bastard. And you canceled your Halloween party on me. Just because somebody put a nail through their finger. That's not my fault. I'm gonna be Fry from Futurama. You know.
Cool. Cool. But didn't you have a conundrum about conflicting Halloween parties, and now you only have one to go to?
Well, yeah. Now I only have one. I mean, conflict drives my life. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
if if
You
if I don't,
feed off the conflict of Halloween parties.
when I wake up in the morning, I say, "What kind of conflict can I get into today?" Hey, this Big Mac supposed to come with fries. It came with a small milk.
It's a common mistake. Could happen to anyone. All right. Yeah. What else is happening? You stoked to hang out in 3 weeks, three and
I
a half
am
weeks?
I am stoked to hang out in 3 weeks. That's gonna be real fun. That's gonna be real fun. Um, you're gonna have to refresh the schedule of all that stuff for me. Um, yeah, there's that.
Do you think our wives would get pissed off if in the middle of dinner I just pull out my phone and start streaming to our Twitch channel?
Uh, Chelsea will be like, "What? You guys really doing that right now?" And I'd be like, "Yes, it's content."
Yeah, that probably won't happen. But we'll find opportunities to sneak away at least for a quick stream.
That's it. That's right. That's right. Hey, the folks in the stream, are you um going to do anything for Halloween? Are you going to dress up? Are you going to watch any horror movies?
I should watch a horror movie. Which one should I watch?
Well,
Halloween.
if you have Shudder, you can watch multiple. You would never get Shudder. I know. I know. I know you wouldn't. Um, Trick or Treat is my kind of go-to nowadays for Halloween.
Okay.
And let's see what else. You can watch Halloween. You can watch. There's a new Nickelodeon just came out with all new Are You Afraid of the Dark? And
Oh,
the first episode is on YouTube that you can watch. Uh, I I've read a little bit about it. I hear it's pretty good. I hear it's not. You know how the old Are You Afraid of the Darks? It would be the kids around the campfire and they would tell a story. Well, this new series is the it's a serialized version of it. It's all about the kids and the bad things that are happening to them.
okay. So less anthology type stuff.
Right, yeah, less anthology.
Uh oh, nope. Good, good.
Oh,
Somebody mentioned the pickle Nick, pumpkin thing, um, the pumpkin ride. I have the full video of that, you guys. I want to share it with you.
put it up, man.
Um, I I will put it. I will put the full video up on our Instagram. So if you are not following, if you're not on Instagram, Rick and Morty Pod, maybe I can get it on our Twitter too. Um, but yeah, it's cheeseball, but it is surprisingly well done for what it is, and I find it rather entertaining.
Um, Deceitful mentions two things. One, are we going to do a meet and greet at the Rainforest Cafe? I don't. That's at downtown Disney, I guess.
Disney Springs, bruh.
Oh, oh
I mean,
shit.
we'll be at Disney Springs. That is, I mean, if you are in the greater Orlando area and you want to meet us
You're
and our families,
you're just gonna have to like sneak in a quick hello, uh,
yeah,
so my wife and Travis's wife don't be like, "Who the fuck?" They're not that
Sheena,
bad.
take the kids, take the kids.
Go 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 go.
It's a crazed Rick and Morty fan. Um, yeah,
Uh,
I would love. I was thinking about it today. I was like, I wish we were popular enough to justify a tour where we could go and meet fans, or even if just do a live event.
yeah.
We should
That,
plan that in 2020. We should do a live event, whether
for
it's
the
a panel or whatever. I'll travel. I
for the
will.
season 6 break.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
We should do a panel and do a live podcast somewhere and get all 4 people to show up.
Deceitful. I know you say that the new Are You Afraid of the Dark is kind of let down because it's not episodic. Uh, yeah, it does suck. I love anthologies. So not looking, not, I still want to check it out, just see how it is, but kind of set my expectations a little bit low. But quick 669, you watched the new Creep Show, which it's on Shutter, and
Shutter.
Creep Show, which was a movie, Stephen King and George A. Romero put that together, and now it's a series by Greg Nicotero. In the second episode, one of them was directed by old Rob Schraub, Bad Wolf Down. I dig it. the The first episode wasn't super creep showish to me, and then it I think as they've gone on, they've gotten more into that kind of comic aesthetic. Coincidentally, I read an interview or listened to an interview where they're talking about they spent a lot of their money on the first episode, and then from there they're like, oh, now we have to budget everything out a little bit better. But what that did, I think, is forced them to use more comic pains and more creative ways of bringing the images to life, and it's made it better in my opinion. So anyway, creep show, creep show.
Yeah, creepy.
Ma-
You're writing an article for Geekade, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, I sure am. Yeah, they're over on geeky.com. Our old friends, our old hosts. They do 31 Days of Halloween, and I'm doing an article for them, which will release on Friday, talking about my love of horror, leading into Joe Bob Briggs' Halloween Hootenanny, which is on Shutter for a marathon that night, which I will be up for. And if anybody is there, hit me up on Twitter at Barnyard Cruise or whatever it is.
You should stream while you watch it.
Oh, I should.
Hang out with people.
It's gonna be so
Uh,
boring.
That's so boring. Just you.
Look,
Go on.
look at me. I'm watching a movie
Huh,
now.
huh.
I have to go take a dump.
And then you look over at the screen. You're like, "Did you think that was scary?" Yeah, me neither.
I'll just like turn the camera towards the TV.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. I'm I'm watching it. You're watching it.
And then you get in trouble from Shutter because you're showing their stuff on stream.
It,
Yeah.
it, I, it probably wouldn't get in trouble, right? Because it's commentary, right?
Mm, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about a thing. Dang it, I forgot it. Oh yeah, apathetic enthusiasm. I figured we could do a Halloween theme for that episode.
Okay.
Episode 151.
Heyo, hey
So
yo.
maybe I should watch a scary movie and talk about it.
You can do that. You can do that. I watched
Bring back the old Netflix rewatches.
I watched a few that are on Netflix recently. Eli was one of them. Decent. Oh, sorry. That's old Discord talking to us. Eli. What else did I watch? Oh, I watched one on Hulu called Little Monsters, featuring what's her name from Us. The
Oh, right, the Hulu like original one with
yeah,
Lu- is it, I feel really bad if it's like
Yango.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Mita Yango, right?
Nyong'o, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was it started off a little rough. We were watching it with the 7-year-old, and there was adult stuff, and usually like adults, I'm okay with adult stuff normally, um, when it's not about sex. If it's about sex, it's an American thing.
yeah,
Like we're like, oh no, sex! Don't let them watch people touching themselves. But look at that kid uh, ripping off the neck of an adult.
right,
That's okay.
yeah, yeah. Violence is fine. My mom had the exact opposite philosophy, which was weird. It was a weird thing growing up.
Huh.
Yeah. So let's explore that for the next hour. Anyway, yeah, I should watch that. I should watch that before we record Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Did you hear Zombieland 2 is getting pretty sketchy reviews?
Sketchy reviews. I saw some pretty good reviews for it.
Yeah. I saw some iffy ones. So,
Huh.
okay. Well, that's good. It's good to hear that it's got some good stuff.
You know what we both need to see before. And we won't see it. I'll see it before you. Is Terminator Dark Fate? The first couple of reviews are coming in for it, and the you know whenever first reviews coming in, usually they're positive. These ones are positive, and they're saying it's the best sequel since Terminator 2, and also that it's the Force Awakens of the Terminator franchise.
Oh, okay. All right. When does
So
that come out?
November 4th. That first
Oh,
next weekend, I guess. Yeah. Um,
I might be able to get out to see that.
but it's eh, depending on how you feel about the Force Awakens. You know, I'm a defender of it's not just a remake of A New Hope. It's different enough. Like it takes some of the same beats, sure, but it's not a straight remake. It takes the spiritual aspect of it and
Yeah.
makes it its own thing. Um, a lot of people don't. They're like, it's just straight up remake. It was stupid. What a waste of time. So depending on what camp you fall in, that might mean a good thing or a bad thing for Terminator Dark Fate.
Mm. Well, I'm hopeful for it. So.
Me too.
All right. I need to upload this material to you, my friend, which
Oh
means we're
yeah.
gonna have to put an end to this stream. Thank you to everyone that is hanging out. Stoked for Terminator. I want to watch Zombieland 2. Yeah, Zombieland 1 was good. Hyped for Disney Plus because I'm gonna watch tons of Star Wars on there
Oh,
as
Mandalorian.
well. Mandalorian. Not all episodes being released day one. Only 2 episodes in the first week. I'm a little bummed about that. But that's apathetic enthusiasm talk.
That's
Which we will do next week. Same pod time, same pod channel. Thank you guys for hanging out, and until next time, I'm still Travis.
I'm so afraid. I'm laughing at least it didn't say it was the Titanic of the Terminator films.
Hey, Jerry loves Titanic. Okay, guys.
Yeah,
He's
come on.
big
We're
fan.
back on we're back on brand.
Back on brand. All right,
As
we'll
we
see.